Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of the Jarred Up podcast. Today we're joined by Felix Bartlett, who's a photographer, writer and videographer. He's been involved in loads of stuff. Recently he's been working for Clunk magazine, which is a magazine based in Cornwall. And then he's been working on a film with Alistair Morrison called Time to Pause, which is based on the coronavirus impact. They interview 1,000 people apparently. He's also been in the music world, travelling the world, shooting Ferris and Sylvester, Youth Martin, and many more. You get something really cool with each project he takes on, particularly his nature photography and just his street photography. Like his photos in El Paso with the bull ring are awesome. So be sure to check his website out and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you.
Admit.
He's been released from purgatory in 3, 2, 1.
1. Connecting.
Yo,
boys, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Coming through right?
yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we're actually staring at snow right now. We've had it all day.
Oh, mate,
nice.
love it. I mean, we just got the ends of it. I had to go pick up my girlfriend from the hospital, drive through a fucking blizzard for it. But she's all right. She just had she just fainted the other day, so she's had to have a few just tests on the old heart. But she's all right. Yeah. I've sent her to pick up the pennies, so she's doing all right.
Dramatic drive home.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Staying the night, needless to say.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, where are you at the moment then? Where you?
So I'm London way, Fulham. Yeah. So it's only 20 minutes from the house, but yeah, nice little break from the family and all that. It's my little safe haven. I come here for the weekend.
Wicked.
It's been a long time,
dude. It feels like yesterday. It really does. You know, that the blazing heat at the Reading Festival.
Yeah,
I really miss it, and I miss those days. You know, it takes me back to like the first gig. Saw you guys out. I mean, I was just writing an article about it. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, man.
So weird.
That was a really hot day. I remember, like, I was properly hot and bothered. Like, it was just fucking dusty. Like back then.
Yeah, and you just like, I remember just being in the pit, like, oh my god, like all this this dust. I was like, fuck,
all over the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure you've had worse though, all over your camera.
Oh, dude, yeah, no. Well, or better, you know, you never know.
No, we were just flicking through like loads of your photographs and just looking at like the ones that you took in Spain of like the bull ring.
Yeah, man.
I think they're awesome. I love them.
There's a certain mood, or like a feeling that they have when you look at them. It's very interesting.
Dude, it was a scary day. Almost got arrested after that one. So that was fun.
What? Tell us what happened.
What?
So basically, I'm from Spain, obviously, and I grew up out there. But I did my dissertation on bullfighting, and there was a little rural village. So I live in quite a rural area, and there was a town just about half an hour away, and there was a bullfight. And I thought, oh, brilliant! I get some shots, and I kind of sort of got my way. And it's a small village, not much going on. But then, as soon as you try and get behind the scenes and get that bull getting like lifted into a bulldozer, they don't like that. So then you're me trying to frantically remember what Spanish I learned from GCSE Spanish, talk my way out of this situation while there's this gang of people like, I just really like bullfighting, guys. Like, I'm just here to appreciate it. Like, nothing dodgy.
Yeah.
It's
weird. I've been to one of them as well in France.
Yeah.
But they're kind of strange. Like, everyone seems to be having such a good time. Like, there's this paddling pool in the middle, like with money in it. And people would have to like sort of run through the middle with the bull in the ring and like get the cash out of the paddling pool.
That sounds so much fun.
the poor animal, man.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I mean, you can be one of two ways, really, can't you?
Well, I don't know.
What do you mean?
The fucking morality behind bullfighting, but
yeah,
whatever,
true.
There's money and there's morality. It's a fine balance, guys. You know.
Yeah, you captured it really, really well. And the guy's suit, like, he looks so
shimmers,
so
but
sharp.
It's so sharp, it's shimmery, but
it's very David from the band, isn't it? You know, I could see David.
It actually is a little bit nice.
It's a good shout for his for when you get back on the road, man. Get him in a nice bull outfit, you know.
Yeah, in the bull ring. That'd be funny to see. But no, yeah, that those shots, like the wildlife shots you've taken,
yeah, man.
like
just so nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. No, it's
yeah.
I'd like
to fire you up, but
yeah, I'd like to have continued, but obviously with COVID and the money situation, it's sort of harder to achieve, really. I mean, sort of nice going out there and do those things, but it's like, and obviously it's hard to get that sort of stuff when you haven't got much backing behind you.
What, have you been able to do much photography recently?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a weird one. Like, you know, you kind of have to adapt and overcome. So I've done a lot of sort of remote work. So I've done a lot of production work, more filmmaking, editing. I did a few album covers over lockdown, like between lockdowns, as it were, over the last summer. But it's obviously...
Talk a bit about the film stuff. What have you been doing there?
Which one, sorry?
Well, the first thing you said, like the film and the editing and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I recently did a film on COVID. So at the beginning of lockdown, I got in contact with this photographer who's quite well known. He's called Alistair Morrison. He's got work in the National Portrait Gallery and all that. And basically, we devised this project where what we would do is we'd interview 1,000 people over Zoom across the past year. And so he would photograph them in lockdown. I'd go in there, and so I did a lot of the Black Lives Matter stuff and do all the remote sort of like going out into the field and risking my life to get these shots. And yeah, man. So we recently had that premiered in Sweden, literally Monday this week. Awesome. So needless to say, I celebrated very hard Monday night.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Would you have been there had like COVID not happened? Do you reckon you would have been in Sweden? Or?
Well, I mean, I'd hope so, but then the whole argument is we wouldn't even be there at all. You know, COVID kind of made this really be a thing. You know?
Yeah.
It's obviously.
Stupid question. There'd be no film.
Well, no,
yeah. But you know,
sure there'd be something else
if you could travel now.
But it was great, man. We had people from New York, Germany, Sweden, Bangladesh. Like the whole film was basically interviewing people across the world. So it was really moving.
That's really cool. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, how can we not see that?
So at the moment, it's only the kick in the teeth is you can only watch it if you're in Sweden. You have got to have rest. So I mean, I'll link you to it on the Instagram. It should be on my Instagram. Some like links to trailers and stuff. Same with if you go check out Alistair Morrison, there should be some snippets.
Wicked.
But
you haven't got like a memory stick.
No. I wish that's locked up, tight, lock and key that one. But once it's out, I think once the festival's over, it will be out there, which was what we're hoping for. Hopefully, we get some sort of traction and get the wheels moving.
Definitely an interesting idea because you're getting so many perspectives on people experiencing the same thing. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it brought me to tears. I mean. Yeah, like I don't know if it was the wine or it was mostly the wine, but it was the film. Just man, like it's such a sobering film to watch. I mean, even working on it, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
That's really cool. Where did you go to shoot?
So he's near mine. So he's got a little studio. He stayed in the studio basically, and I was kind of out in the field. I went to a lot of the Black Lives Matter marches. That was like the big thing for me. So I was out contacting a lot of the organizers and basically working with a lot of people who worked in Black Lives Matter and getting a lot of that content sort of on the streets and getting all that footage of London in lockdown, as it were. Which is crazy, man. Like it was such a weird time. Like now it's kind of, even though it's another lockdown, it's not the same. Like I would go to London, no one, like there's just nothing was open. It was just dead. You couldn't do anything. But I kind of miss it. I quite liked it. It was nice, that sort of eerie quietness. It was like kind of had the city to yourself,
Yeah, eerie though. I do agree.
Oh, definitely.
Some shots just like, I mean, like you say, you go back now, it's so different. Like people were just completely kind of, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure which way is right. Lockdown or no lockdown.
Yeah.
Regardless, like you see people acting differently nowadays. Like with lockdowns. Yeah.
Well, when you've been locked down for so long, like it only takes so long for your natural behaviors to change. I mean, it's like people are now so much more aware, I feel.
Yeah, that's true. Of just,
or like, of just general just spatial awareness in public.
Yeah. I mean, everyone was so scared. When it first came out. I mean, funnily enough, I was in Cornwall, beginning of lockdown.
Well, how many cases were in Cornwall?
Yeah, so my boss, basically, we've been doing a big shoot for a mobile phone company called TCL. Worst part was they're all based in China. So as soon as this all kicked off, it was like, fuck, well, we've lost that client. They've gone.
Shit.
But basically, he got me down at the beginning of lockdown to just say, let's get you down here. We'll start. Once you're sort of here, we can call that the lockdown. And I loved it. I mean, I was down by the coast. Basically, he's just a massive stoner. So it was a 2-week holiday, basically, just editing, filming, getting these shots done. And just by the seaside, man, it was so nice. None of that queuing up stuff for supermarkets. It was just like, oh, lovely, walk down to the beach, daily walk. It was so nice.
Have you got to travel much with photography work and stuff like that? Like, I know you've been
abroad.
Was that kind of, were you on holiday and you went kind of off to shoot for a little while, or?
Or was this Spain? Sorry.
I just mean generally, like, where have you been?
Well, this past year, it's all been very localized. I mean, I've got a lot of contacts. I mean, one of the guys, I've got a friend in Bath, so I used to go up to his after the first lockdown and basically sort of use this as a hub, basically. So a band I work with are down in Westbury, sort of just south of Bath. So that's basically all I've been. I mean, I went to Brighton a bit to do some shoots down there, but it's all been very localized, nothing far afield, sadly.
What about before that?
Before that? Oh, dude. I mean, Spain was always the big one because family connections out there. That was always quite nice. I mean, before this, I was in Bangkok. I mean, the year I think I shot you guys, I'd just come back from Bangkok that year. Obviously, when I was working with youth, saw you guys the first time. That was like the big year for just travel. It was Spain, Bangkok, you guys, and Reading Festival. It was just all kicking off.
2018.
That was it. That was the year, man. That was the year.
It seems it, man. It seems like when you look at your work, you have like your nature photography. And I mean, I know you're more than a photographer, you're a writer as well, but you've got like your nature photography and like your music photography, and like it's all so good. Like it all has such a
also, it seems so like connected and entwined. It's not like your projects seem so disconnected from each other.
I'd agree with that.
It's like your skill set is shared across what you're doing.
A running theme almost.
Yeah. No, thanks, guys. No, that means a lot. I mean, I think that's the hardest part about being a photographer, especially doing stuff like, transferring from wildlife to doing more commercial stuff. It's trying to find that balance of how you're going to continue the workflow and keep it relevant. I think that's the hardest part about what I found leaving university is it's a very, I mean, I always knew it was going to be difficult, but you've got to find so many ways to tap into that field of work. You've got to kind of be a jack of all trades. You can't really stick to one niche necessarily. And I think that's where I found myself, at the moment, especially just kind of just dabble in every little thing I can. And for the most part, I've loved it. Obviously I get to hang out with you guys, which has been fantastic. Feels like yesterday we were at the Purple Turtle in Reading doing that. That was like one of my first ever gig shoots, by the way. I mean, that's how far from just those little sort of gigs to I mean, bless you guys for having me doing Reading Fest. I mean, that's just definitely a highlight of the career. Like that's tippy top.
You've done some cooler shit than that, bro. Which album covers have you been shooting?
So I've done a couple now, actually, a couple under my belt, which is pretty cool. So we did a band called Ferris and Sylvester. They work with youth as well. So they're a sort of Americana, if sort of bluesy rock. And I've got to know them really well. We were just actually, that's another thing. We were in Amsterdam just before the last lockdown. The first lockdown, we were in Amsterdam on tour, which was fantastic, man. Like I love that city. And we're in I went to the first venue I ever took a camera to shoot a gig as well, which was brilliant.
Where was it?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Paradiso.
Oh no, I've heard of that though.
That's a nice venue. I mean, whereabouts? Because you went on tour Europe, didn't you?
We're at Milkweg or something like that.
Yeah. Pronounced exactly. It's right in the middle, to be fair, of like the actual. the shield-shaped city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was great. But did you go on the whole European tour?
So I joined them halfway through. I mean, I was still dipping in with like actually trying to do cafe work and balancing my life of I need some money and also a bit of fun. So I joined them for the Amsterdam leg of the tour to Paris, then back to the UK and did a few UK tours. I did the whole UK tour with them, but obviously with lockdown, it was like just as things are kind of picking up. It was like, this is, everyone says this is going to be my year. This was going to be my fucking year,
Yeah.
I had ties for Glastonbury, supposed to be Glastonbury last year. Download Festival, hopefully Reading again and joining you guys at some point. It was just a real kick in the teeth. It really was.
It was. But how have you been spending your time? You've been writing for a magazine and.
Yeah, I mean, it's as much as I despise lockdown, it was a really good chance to just take a breather. And I mean, I'm sure you've had this a lot, but just really take it in and just think, what can I do now? And what I did was I actually spent a lot of time learning about, film cameras, old school film photography.
Cranks, like
yeah, like the old school. So I ended up buying 3 cameras in lockdown, 3 film cameras. I'd never done film before. My friend was really good, and I thought, let's try something new. Let's sort of try this out.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I sort of spent my time doing, learning that. I picked up skateboarding, longboarding. That was fun.
How's that going?
I had my first accident just after the second lockdown. I did my kidney in, so I was in A&E. Yeah, A&E. First day back, I was meant to go to the pub that night, and then that's it, over.
How have you ended up having a skateboarding incident? End up in a kidney?
No, hold on. It was a good 3 months in. Wasn't right at the start, but I don't know. It's trucks. I don't know. I'm sure you guys skate.
Last time I skate, I tried to drop in and just like almost, when your wrists just go numb and you can't move them. So since then, I haven't really bothered.
We went through a stage in uni of trying it. I can't remember who bought one.
Chris.
Yeah,
we just used Chris's for ages.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's always been like surfing. It's always just been something that like I really would love to be good at. But
yeah, I mean, longboarding was more my forte. I'll tell you that now. Like longboarding, especially in Windsor, it's great. But my trucks were so loose. So luckily, I was around the corner from my house, and I just fell off, and the wheel basically went up my side, and I thought I had a cut kidney basically. So I had to go in for a CT scan. Needless to say, I was on a lovely bit of codeine for the week, which was great.
So was that like it must have been like an immediate searing pain, right? Or were you not really aware of how extreme it was?
Well, yeah, I won't go into full details of what told me I had a kidney damaged, but it was pretty bad. But basically, I mean, obviously your whole side is basically fucked. I was just on the sofa like, oh, dude, like my whole body was aching. And let's just say blood was coming out where there shouldn't be blood.
Oh,
and
shit.
Yeah, and I was like, oh fuck. Yeah. And then,
that's fucked, bro.
It was fun.
Is it a fully recoverable?
It's I'm all good now. Don't worry. I survived that. All good. Good week. Good week in coding, thriving, loving it. Scary moment. I didn't think I'd have a kidney. I thought I'd lose a kidney, which, you
would not. Yeah, that's what I mean. You would not expect that from skating, man. I don't know.
And I was more scared about not being able to drink again. Like that's just me. How? I just can't replace. That's just me in a nutshell.
Most of it, muscle memory.
Yeah, like, he's just, it's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, I do really want to see this film that you've made.
Yeah, dude, 100%. I mean, as soon as it gets out, I will get it straight over to you guys because, cool. It'd be great to see you guys. And then, it'd be great. I mean,
1,000 people must have been pretty intense for
really. I mean, it doesn't feel like 1,000, but the stories you hear are just real. Like they really cut skin deep. Like it really gets you because I think this thing with lockdown is, I've obviously not been. I haven't followed all the rules. I'm sure most people haven't. Do you know what I mean? We've all done, gone out but I mean, watching this film, like you hear the stories and it really brings that sense of humanity back to it. Like there is a story behind every death, for the most part, people are just a statistic, but there is a story. And I think that's what you really do miss with it. I mean, I don't know anyone who's died from it, so I'm quite fortunate, but hearing the stories, it's just really.
Me too. I don't know anybody, but yeah, like you hear on like I mean, I've heard on like the radio and stuff, just people talking about it, and it's like you said, individual stories. So it must be a good film.
Yeah, definitely. 100%, guys. I'll get it over to you.
Yeah, please do.
I mean, how have you guys been? I know you've done some new music. I mean, I listen to your new stuff. It's great to see you're still making stuff. I mean, I love how we're doing the podcasts now. I mean, what's been keeping you busy? I mean, moving on from backyard parties to Zoom.
It's weird. I think these podcasts are really cool. Like being able to like catch up with like loads of friends. So it's been really good. Been still been writing and stuff like that. But just trying to get through it.
No, I'm looking forward to new content, guys.
Exactly.
I'll have to come up and see you at some point. I mean, I drive now, so that makes everything so much easier. I mean, God, I don't know. You must have seen me when I just, so much has changed. Yeah, I was training it back in the day. Like, I know I must have, because I drove to see you guys, didn't I? Of course. So I drove obviously then to Reading Festival. Obviously, I took my car up, which was lovely. I mean, I got the VIP car park. It was fantastic. It was so great. I mean, it was straight from shooting you guys. I had to get the shuttle bus back to the car to drop the camera, then get back to the festival so I could get on it. Just get absolutely pissed.
You stayed for the whole weekend?
No, I don't think I completely overdid it the first night, and I was like,
had to go home.
I mean, I was in my friend's tent freezing my tits off. Like I couldn't. I got out the next day. I was like, and for the most part, my friends told me it was just so hot. I mean, it was unbearable. Literally, half my friends were like, we didn't even leave the campsite for the whole weekend till like 8 in the evening because it was just so hot.
Yeah. Oh shit!
But compared to like European festivals, have you shot at many European festivals before?
No,
but
festivals
abroad.
I've heard this. No, I haven't, but I've heard the stories. I mean, I know a lot of festivals like
that's meant to be mad. Like
like they push all their acts to like the evening. So like most acts finish like 3 a.m. because it is just so hot.
Yeah, everyone's just dehydrated constantly. Water at €5 a bottle.
I think I'd love that though.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Headliner at 2 a.m. It's like,
oh, dude, it's great. Just everyone's just absolutely off it.
James went to Benicassim, and he just said it was like that. Like everybody was just so fucked up. By the time it was 2 a.m. watching Chemical Brothers, like,
oh my god, just like people just tripping out left, right, and center. Like,
it's funny.
Like they. And those European festivals, like I've heard they're just nuts. Like I had a friend from university and he was from France. Funny story, he used to bring back like flavored tobacco for us. And you could get like apple tobacco. He used to bring that back for us at uni, which is great. Like it was brilliant. But he said like you'd be in the crowd and you could just smell like people smoking DMT and shit, like just around. It was just so intense.
Burning Man Festival.
I kind of love that crackhead energy. It's you can only find it in European festivals. It's just something you can only there.
Animalistic and raw for the whole just weekend in a way. Like it's kind of feral. I remember like I used to work at a place called Record Junkie in Sheffield. Like they'd have like Gabba nights. Oh, you'd get like you'd kind of get like 14 people turn up for the event, but they'll be there from like 7 till like. They'll pay for it, obviously, pay for the hire of the room. But I'll have to work at the bar and they'll be there till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Just and you're just like these feral people are just in the middle of the room, sort of just circling around, summoning
like phantoms. Just like, could I get a bottle of water, mate? Like,
yeah, that's the worst thing. The bar makes no money.
It's just like water, mate, water. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
But, I was once like that. Don't worry. I mean, I've test of time. I've been there.
Yeah,
seen firsthand.
One of the 14.
Yeah. So, what are your guys' plans for like this year? Is there anything you've sort of got planned in the pipeline? I mean, is new music on the horizon? I know this was meant to be more about me, but God, I haven't spoken so long. I want to get a bit out of you.
Yeah, man.
Of course, there's always music coming.
Yeah. I mean, you all live together. There's got to be something going on, even if it's David clapping some pans in the kitchen. It's got to be something coming out of you guys.
That sounds about right, actually. recent events.
Yeah, we've got an album coming out, which is gonna be really cool.
Oh, dude, awesome.
Yeah.
When about you releasing that? I mean, obviously, I won't. If no disclosure.
Later, probably sometime this year.
Sometime this year, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. but there's no point being so like too secretive about what you're doing and arsey about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially especially in time.
No, you know what I mean, though. You know what I mean.
Yeah, like you can make plans, and then like we have made plans, and then like before you know it, there's more news, and it's like, oh, okay. So you make plans just for it to constantly change. It's kind of pointless in a way.
Oh, dude, literally, it's just the story of people in the creative industry. It's just completely pushing back. Like, it reminds me. So I've been working on a festival in Hackney at the moment in support of Black Lives Matter. That was one of the big projects we had in the pipeline.
What's it called?
It's called Blackout. His name. So we were kind of pushing for I think like September, November time to have it. But then just given everything, we've just had to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And now we've basically gone for that whole line of we're going to have an undisclosed date. It's going to be like, I mean, we're basically waiting until I think May. I think May is now the time. But it's just obviously with everything going on, you just can't plan anything, can you? Like
no. Do you like as organizers get any kind of heads up when we able to start planning
we kind of obviously it's our little like as our little baby as it were, so we kind of pull all the plugs and say when it's going to be anyway. So we usually have like a weekly call, just go down, have a debrief. So we're kind of in charge of when it's going to be, sort of thing. But obviously it's hard because you've got acts to rely on and stuff, and you don't want to keep screwing someone over and over. It's hard.
It strictly music, and
it's kind of like DJs, spoken word artists. It's kind of like a celebration of Black artists. So we're quite fortunate, as in it's not like there's any sort of highbrow, not too highbrow. It's not like there's a lot of money involved. It's more of a charity event, so it's not too stressful. But it's still, we want to get it out there. We want to have it,
of course,
big and good. But for the life of us, it's just been postponed indefinitely.
So even with bands, you see them like announcing gigs, releasing tours. You're just like, oh, really?
It was like and Shikari were like, we're gonna have a tour in October. Like this was announced like April last year, like right in the midst of everything. I was like, really? Like
good luck.
Are people even going to buy tickets for things? Like, are people going to?
I think they will.
Will people commit when
I
they
think
know?
they will. Yeah. Because most people just want to kind of go and like, I'd love to go to a gig. You know what I mean?
100%. I miss that just sweaty, intimate, like just balls deep, just in like a mosh pit in like a tiny little. Dude, those are like the heydays. Like I remember going in Cornwall, like the gigs down there, you'd just be packed into this tiny room. Like, I mean, half the gigs I was there with a camera, like basically people trying to drop kick you while you're trying to run through the camera. I just missed that. Like, I think the last gig I did was probably February this time last year was probably the last gig I did. And it's just weird.
What was
just
that?
It was The Art Is Murder.
Who's that?
The Art Is Murder. It was such a great night as well. I mean, and tell me about ending on a high note. I mean, I basically got chatting to this guy, got me on the tour bus with them. So it was it was a good night to have the last gig on, but still, like, you just can't keep waiting. I mean, hope before end of this year.
Band. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The drop kick in and stuff is not an acoustic act.
Not quite Frank Turner.
Who spoke at our university, actually. That was quite funny.
No way.
Yeah, it was quite funny.
On graduation day.
It was quite sweet.
Was it you? Did you know him from university? Was it like Blackwaters versus Frank Turner? Like, sorry.
Oh God. Yeah. Battle of the band, like.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be funny.
No, he just did some kind of shitty speech, but yeah, that was what that was.
Ex-student kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was he? I'm pretty sure. I think that's why he was there.
Where did you go to uni?
I went to Falmouth, Cornwall. So
cool.
we had Dawn French doing the speech. A bit different.
Didn't happen, yeah.
No, more Vicar of Dibley than Frank Turner doing a nice acoustic solo.
What did you study?
So I did marine and natural history photography. So that's where the wildlife sort of comes from. That's where I sort of channel that stuff from. Yeah, which was great. You know, I think it was a great 3 years. It was fantastic. I mean, a lot of the stuff I did was through that, and like going to Bangkok and stuff was fantastic. You know, it gave you these opportunities to just kind of just go, right, that's it, going abroad. But you're going abroad with purpose, so you kind of had an excuse to go abroad, and it was great, man. Like, I mean, obviously getting to work with youth was fantastic. So it was quite sort of, it was a weird one because you could kind of interpret different things into the course. So obviously youth has nothing to do with wildlife unless you call whatever he smokes wildlife.
And was that involved in the university?
Yeah, so I did work experience with youth. So that was my
that's it. Yeah,
2 weeks with youth in his brilliant flat in Wandsworth. Which,
oh wow, in that flat. Okay,
it's a pretty cool flat.
It's a brilliant flat house. Let's be honest. That was good. I just missed those days as well. Like, are you still in? Do you still record with youth? Have you moved on at all, or are you with?
Well, we just haven't seen them in 20. Yeah, we just haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah. Did you which EP did you record when? Was it People Street, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was the People Street EP. Yeah,
that was the EP. Yeah, obviously when we saw you, met you.
Yeah.
2018.
How was it? I know you flew out to Spain, didn't you?
Yeah. We've been to the house in Wandsworth
as well,
and I just remember the amount of ornaments like in the downstairs room. Like,
it's crazy, isn't it?
A hoarder.
Yeah, almost.
But not in a bad way. It was like a kid in a kind of like a kid in a toy shop, just going, "What's that?"
Everything seemed like it should be exactly where it was.
Yeah,
it's not random. That was definitely like
there was some sort of. It's almost as they planned it somehow, but you know.
Maybe he did.
But it's like every floor in his house is like another studio, isn't it?
And it's just like a different theme, isn't it? Like, I did you go on every floor? I mean, the attic is just like. Did you meet Michael?
Yeah. Michael's in Spain too.
Michael's little space at the top. The mid floor is kind of like the chill out zone. Like, it's his own little. It's a bit more tidier. Bottom floor is just chaos. It's just youth romping ground. He just loves it.
Man.
He has the knickknacks.
So what were you doing work experience there? Just shooting? And
it was a weird one. So my dad's friend did a lot of artwork for youth back in the day, and just said, you know, I've always been really interested in music. I've always wanted to get stuck into doing what I did with you guys. And he basically just said, let's try and get you involved. So basically I was a runner. I was kind of just, you know, making the teas and coffees. He had me doing some editing for a video. He went to, I don't know if you mentioned, he went to India, and he wanted one of his India tracks sort of edited to this, I don't know, he wanted just basically a backing track to one of his weird, his sort of experimental tracks. So that's what I kind of did for 2 weeks there, whilst also helping with sort of, production work and just basically helping around. Yeah. And, it paid off. I know you guys. I met Ferris and Sylvester there, and there was so many clients I met through him, which was fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's the thing. Like the more you hang around, like creatives, like youth, you kind of you meet so many people. And he gave us the idea for the arts lab.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Like he knows.
Yeah.
I know he's always stoned, but he knows his shit.
Yeah.
You need a bit, it's hard getting something out of him, but when you do, Christ, it just changes you. He's brilliant. He's really good.
Yeah, we enjoyed working with him actually. It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
So studying nature photography in Cornwall is quite a good combination. And I saw that there's a thing called like art school media.
Yeah.
What is that? Because that seems like a collective almost.
Yeah. So the guy I spent the first 2 weeks with in lockdown, he basically was he's become a really good friend of mine actually. He's in his 30s now, and what he did was he grew up sort of near London. When he was younger, he worked in Shoreditch quite a lot. He's got a big sort of collective of friends. A lot of them work in like like a consulting company. They work in a lot of production companies basically. And what he's done is he's moved back to Cornwall because his dad's down there now. His dad's kind of like getting by a bit. He's in his sort of 70s, 60s now, I think. So he moved down there, and basically what he's done is he's set up a production company with the sole purpose of getting people like myself, so university students, giving them a chance to do this production work. So obviously, it's Cornwall's quite a cheap area. If you think about it, if I was to bring you out to London to record an album, how expensive would that be? And his argument is it's cheaper in Cornwall because it's cheaper. It's, you know, it's not an hub, but also it's bringing work down to Cornwall.
Yeah.
And it's also into that resource of all the whole uni of students. You know,
it would always be more fun going down to Cornwall. Do you know what I mean? Like, I last went to Cornwall when I was like 6 or something.
Yeah.
So like to go to Cornwall would be really cool, you know.
Yeah. I love it. I go back all the time now. It's just I love that drive, and I think and it is just such a it's like going into a different world. It is, and it's such a nice place as well.
How old were you when you moved to Cornwall?
I was just university.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I did my 3 years of university in Cornwall, basically. But yeah, best 3 years of my life. It was like, it is like living back in the 70s. Like it's all, you know, the whole town is basically run by students. You walk down the high street, there's
That's what the students think.
They think, yeah. But it's that small town. I mean, I don't know what, imagine like a small village. It's just that, but by the seaside. And it's fantastic. It was great, you know. It was all these collective artists. You had musicians playing gigs in your house. You'd have gigs at houses, and you'd have all your mates would be running the bars and stuff. You'd have all these massive like rock nights and stuff. So that's how I got sort of working with Clunk. Is we did a lot of gigs down there, and I got talking to the chief editor, and that's basically how I got my role in Clunk.
That's
which is
cool.
pretty. Yeah, and it's just all these sort of upcoming artists just doing their thing and having a great time, kind of like yourselves.
How often are you kind of writing for them then?
How often am I down there? Oh, writing for Clunk.
Yeah. During your week, like, are you?
I mean, it varies.
You kind of write about what you want here and there.
So, I mean, before lockdown, it was a lot of gig reviews and stuff. So what I would do is I'd usually contact PR companies and just say, "Oh, can I come along to this gig?" So and so, and then write a review. But since lockdown, Kieran got me doing the physical publication. So basically I'm the editor. I basically designed the whole physical zine that's coming out end of this month. I think we're hopeful end of this month. So I'm just doing my little bits here and there, just adding a little bits there, just where I can. And
that's the first physical one, or is
it's the second officially. The first one was more of a tester, which is press, but this is like a proper fully fledged magazine, which is
that's really exciting.
Super exciting. Yeah, I mean it's crazy to be working on something, and it's more of a passion project. You know, no one's really making money, but it's great to be doing some of this. It's kept me sane the past few months.
Definitely been spending quite a lot of time at your computer then, right?
I do, don't like
I bet.
Yeah, the other occasions I can kind of get on the wine, and that's what tonight is getting a bit drunk and just having a day off tomorrow. But that's about best.
Edit 1,000 Zoom calls together whilst also doing all this other stuff on so many different.
It's part of the workflow. Just, you know, you're gonna have a bottle of wine in the mix, otherwise it's just not gonna
fuel.
Exactly.
That was terrible. Yeah, it's good that you're busy though.
Yeah, man.
You know, definitely. And it's the same like you said with Clunk. It's like even if you're not making a shit ton of money each, it's like it's the same as the Arts Lab. It's like it's just the fact that it exists for you now and for other people now.
Exactly.
And it's just like,
and it brings joy to other people.
Fun.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. It's just a good time. Like that's pretty much it, you know. And speaking to like we're speaking to, you know, the Boiler Room in Guildford.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah.
We're speaking to them in a couple of days. So
fantastic.
It's cool. Just keeps you connected. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like once all this clears up, you know, it's going to be brilliant. You know, I'm hoping end of this year we'll be back on the roads and stuff, and we'll be back there. You know, maybe wishful thinking, but let's hope. You know.
No, I think people are going to go fucking mental. Like it's just going to be such a good time. Like
as soon as like I don't know, it's not all going to turn off at once. It's going to be a slow stepping process. But when it does get to like I don't know, I guess another boiling point. I don't know what another, but there's so many boiling points.
Yeah, everybody's already boiling. It's like,
I think one thing though, I've definitely got to come up and see your place. I mean, I've said this. You obviously had your garden parties, and I've always set up. But I've got the little Skoda now. She's coming up north.
We will make it up here.
It's been a long time.
We were literally sat kind of twiddling our thumbs about doing our yard party again.
Yeah,
because we were like, we can't. but then like, all these other places are opening and stuff, and it's like, what can we do? What can't we do? We ended up just not, and it was like, it was pretty sad.
Yeah, but it was a good idea not to, but it was sad. Yeah, of course.
You just need to get an NHS test and track form on your door, mate. And
yeah. Everybody's around scanning our QR code.
Yeah, sorry, mate. You just scan the QR. Cheers, mate. Right, off your pop.
But there's certain shows in the US where they're doing testing half an hour before each show.
Yeah, I think that's the way we're going to start going. You know, I did a gig in summer.
I don't know how I feel about forced kind of, you know, you must take the vaccination, you must be tested.
Yeah, I think let everyone do their own thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think as long as you can get it, I think it's just the testing is the one thing we need to get under our belts.
Yeah, I completely
as long
agree
as you can prove that, you know, I think that's how gigs are going to start coming back, is just getting people tested. And that's all, you know, I've started working in a testing site, actually. That's what I'm doing to keep busy as well now.
Yeah, I've done some of that too.
Yeah, it's like half an hour, you know, we can get a half an hour test now. And that's all you need to do, just get tests, and then like all this shit can come back. You know, it's all it just needs.
Yes. This is like also part of like our discussion as a band is like having a show that's like at a limited capacity. Is it actually like, it's good that you can do it, right? If it's available, but is it really what people want? Is it like limited? Is it pulling back? Will it just be not as good?
Yeah.
Whereas something like testing on site, if that is an option that enables full capacity shows, I think
encourage.
I think it would spark. You know what I mean? Like everyone would just be like, okay, great, I'll get tested, because stuff will just start happening.
I mean, that's what they're looking for. I know Reading. I read an article about Reading Festival and that, and they're saying at the moment they're planning on going ahead, and the only way they can obviously do that, I presume, is through just mass testing and just getting everyone tested. On, you know,
that's mad.
It's crazy. I mean,
have they released their lineup?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, you know, it's not my favorite. I mean, you've lost Rage Against the Machine. I'm just going to say that. I was like, dude, like, you know, scrap it this year. It's a crap lineup. Move on to next year. But yeah, it's, I suppose he's still going ahead, but
Rage Against the Machine, though, that would have been.
Dude, that was supposed to be like last year. Like, I remember all the emos crying. It was My Chemical Romance Reunited.
Oh my god, I remember that.
COVID cancelled it. Right, that's it. Which wasn't.
Did that not happen? The My Chemical Romance shows?
No, it's supposed to be summer. Cornwall, down in Cornwall, they were meant to play the Eden Project, actually.
Oh, awesome.
And,
Eden Project. That would have been really cool.
That's a really good. Yeah, I think Pendulum played a couple of years ago. Then we had Folds there last year.
I didn't realize they did gigs at the Eden Project.
Yeah, what the hell is that? Not
really good.
Just super echoey, like.
Yeah. It's like this big boat, basically.
In the rainforest bit, and everyone's just sweating and like super hot.
That'd be brilliant. That sounds really fun.
Yeah. No, I had a few friends that shot it, and it looks spectacular. It's kind of like in that dome outside. It's next to the domes. And but it's like a hillside going down. It just looks spectacular. Like, kind of like Download Festival. You've got that big hill leading down. You've got the big main stage. So cool.
Sounds like Red Rocks, but England.
Yeah, exactly.
Red Rocks. Where's that?
The one with that Gojira. Yeah, it's America.
Yeah.
Gojira and that Spongle show there.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I want to go to What's that one on the like? It's like the side of the snowy mountain. Do you know what I mean?
Which was that?
Well, they have they have snowboarding.
Snow bombing.
Snowball. Yeah.
We're gonna go with that, are we?
That's it. No, it's what it's called. Yeah, snowboarding festival. And it's just on a snowy mountain.
Yeah.
It's like
that's snowing,
really, really cool.
Snowing, bands, booze. I mean, that's just it's the perfect combination, isn't it? Really.
But I don't know how I'd hack it. You know what I mean? Like,
you just have your mittens on while you're sort of doing the gigs.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get a static crowd, would you? They're all there just trying to warm up.
Yeah, exactly. You're just freezing. So you've got to move. That'll be cool. Have you got anything planned for the next month or the next few months?
Has anyone? At the moment, guys, it's
a daunting, horrible question.
The horrible question is at the moment it's basically it's saving money. Sort of, I think at the moment it's more about prepping for when all this is going to clear up. Basically, you know, we've got I'm trying to think. I've got a sort of few sort of jobs starting up in sort of creative production side of things. So it's waiting for that to sort of pick up. And then once spring starts coming in, I've got sort of more shoots sort of coming up and stuff. That's when I'm starting planning for sort of springtime, because the weather at the moment as well is just so shit.
Yeah, you'll have to come up here in your Skoda.
Mate, go to the Peak District.
Definitely. I'll have a look at the books and give you a date at some point, because that'd be lovely. Do a little
15 minutes, and you're in the Peak District from our house.
Where is that? I'm just while we're on the call. How far is it to your place? What's your town
postcode?
Are you in Sheffield?
We're in Sheffield.
Yeah, postcode. Sheffield. Let's see. See, I took my girlfriend up to Harrogate for Christmas, so it can't be that bad.
Oh wow, Harrogate! Come on, that's close, bro.
Right, 3 hours I can do it. That's absolutely that's quicker than me going to Cornwall. That's doable. There we go.
No excuse.
That's in the books now. That's happening. That's my weekend away.
Yeah, that'll be great.
We're kind of the same. Like as soon as we're allowed, things will just start happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it'd be awesome. That'd be great to see you. I mean, it feels like it's long overdue anyway.
Yeah, man, definitely.
2 years. Is it coming to 3 years now? Is it? No, 2.
What Reading? Since Reading Festival?
Yeah, it will do.
Really?
Probably by the time we probably see you in the summer or later. Yeah, it will be.
2 years. Was it 2019? Didn't we meet up? When was it?
I'm actually going to look at the poster.
Please do, because I'm. This is. I'm either feeling
2019.
Yeah, God, it's only 2 years. Not that bad. Okay,
so it was the Beavers introducing.
It was the year before the carnage.
Yeah. So have you got any plans for festivals at all? I mean, obviously festivals aren't really a thing at the moment, but is there anything on the horizon what you are hoping for at some point? Where will be a festival coming out?
Just to get music out, I think is the main thing, because I think everybody kind of not freaked out, but it's a totally new way of living. So everybody was kind of sparked and shocked by it. But I think the main job is just to release music and just man, that's all we're going to be doing. And catching up with
you got the support of Clunk behind you. We'll be straight on that as soon as it comes out. I'll be writing an article on it.
Dude. Cheers, man. Yeah, it would be really cool. But it's been really cool to talk to you, man.
No, I love to talk to you, boys. It's been great.
Very fun, honestly. Nice to catch up.
Giving me an excuse to have a drink of wine, it's always great.
Anytime.
Well, I'll hold you to that.
Same time next week. Cool, man. Well, we'll talk to you soon.
Right, talk to you soon. Anyway, lots of love.
Bro.
Nice chatting to you, mate.
Bye.